we've got Denver, Kansas City, Las Vegas, and Los Angeles. Some really solid options here. And some interesting ways you can go about ranking these if you so choose. So, Jake, how are you going to rank them?
Oh, it's interesting because the reason that this came to mind is because I've experienced time in every single one of these cities. So I've either lived in those cities, know somebody who lives in that city and has visited a lot, or in the case of Vegas, am just a white 30-something dude who knows that Vegas used to be a haven for stupid antics back in the day. And so I had a lot of trips out to Vegas. I will start from the bottom and say that I think after a lot of thought, Vegas is my number 4 on the list. I'm done
hot
with
take.
I'm done with Vegas. All right. I'm a 30-something man. I leave that to your 20s. Okay. And occasionally, sure. Even now, if somebody says, like, hey, we could go spend a weekend in Vegas, just, we'll just have a bunch of friends go out and have a good weekend in Vegas. Fine. As long as it's a weekend. And I'm talking 2.5 days max. That's it. That's all I want out of Vegas anymore. So then I will move up to the number 3 spot, which is Kansas City. I like Kansas City. Don't get me wrong. I really do like Kansas City. I have a really good friend who lives out there. I've visited plenty of times. The barbecue is dynamite in Kansas City. I would like to get out to their stadium at some point because I do think that's one of those bucket list stadiums to check off. But then number 2, I'm going to put LA. I lived in LA for a year. It was a great time, great, just fun, weird kind of vibes everywhere. And Los Angeles is so big and expansive, and there's beaches and there's anything that you could want, especially for a relatively short time. But Denver, man, Denver kind of has it all for me. So I'm putting it at my number 1 spot. It's just, if you're into hiking and those type of events, it's out there. I'm not, but it has plenty of other things. It's like a good mix. It's like a good mix of like a coastal vibe, but like Midwestern amenities that I really appreciate in a city. So like long-term living, I'm going Denver. So Denver, LA, Kansas City, and Vegas is my order. What's yours?
Jake, I'm going to tell you, we don't have one of these the same here on this list. We are totally at odds with our rankings. So I have
Oh, no.
LA is number 1. LA is number
Ooh,
1.
okay.
I've never been to all these cities except for Vegas. That's the only place I've ever been to. So LA is number 1. It's on the coast. You got the ocean. It's 80 degrees all year long. You got Hollywood out there. You see the stars. You've got all the food you want. You got fresh seafood right off the coast. Just, I know traffic is a bear. That can be kind of a bitch, but for everything else that LA has to offer, that's number 1. Number 2, Vegas. Yeah, I'm going Vegas number 2.
Wow.
And I'm not a big gambler. That's the thing. I'm not a big
Mhm.
gambler, but again, Vegas has become very much a food destination city. A lot of great chefs are out there. So if you're looking for food, uh, and it's where one of my favorite movies was taking place, of Ocean's 11. So I'd have to
Sure.
go visit all those spots. But no, Vegas has become a great foodie city. And then you just have the party atmosphere. It's always fun. But there's plenty of other things to do there as well. Number 3 for me is Denver. And number 4 is Kansas City. As you said, kind of with Vegas, you go spend like 2.5 days there, and that's your limit. It's like you're in Kansas City, great barbecue. I've heard, and I do want to get there to try it at some point. But it's Kansas City. Other than Arrowhead Stadium and barbecue, what else is there to see? It's Kansas City.
There
It's
could be some
relatively
things
close
out
to,
there.
and you're getting dangerously close to the south at that point. Um, with
Dangerously close.
dangerously close. So I mean, then that's just me. But there's my ranking.